So ready to go here in Semple Stadium for the Munster Senior Football quarter-final. A nice enough crowd over in the new stand here. Paul Carroll and Philly Ryan on commentary, and our coverage here on Tipp FM is with thanks to Martin O'Dwyer, Family Butchers in Cashel. Looks like Tipperary are going to be playing right to left in this first half, playing into the Killiney end, and Waterford playing from left to right. Both teams in their traditional colours, Tipperary in the blue and gold and Waterford in the white and blue. Quick rundown through the Tipperary team: Michael O'Reilly in goals, Shane O'Connell, Jimmy Feehan and Colm O'Shaughnessy in the full back line, Kevin Fahey, Coleman Kendi, and a championship debut for Keith Ryan at wing back. In midfield, Paddy Feehan joins Jack Kendi. Half forward line, Emmett Maloney, Dunnalahy comes in for Teddy Doyle, and Mikey O'Shea starts wearing number 12. Stephen O'Brien returns from injury to captain the side wearing number 13. It's a championship debut for Stephen Quirk at 14, and Sean O'Connor wears 15. Referee in charge is James Malloy of Galway, and he's just about ready to throw this ball in. Has one last look, sets his watch, and it looks like he's just preparing for a second. We're having a
very funny setup there. There's 5 across the half forward line. Waterford are obviously going to drop behind the ball and play one inside. By the look of it, ball is in now. So
the ball is caught by the midfielder Michael Curry for Waterford, and they go on the attack now. The Waterford team: Paddy Hunt in goals, Conor O'Careen, Derek O'Cosig and Liam Fennell in the full back line. Dermot Ryan captains the team wearing number 5 from the county championship winning team the Nair. Brian Luby is 6 and Jordan O'Sullivan is 7 as Waterford just slowly build this first attack. Michael Curry is 8 and Brian Lynch is 9. Conor Murray, Derek Corcoran and Jason Curry make up the half forward line for Waterford, and the full forward line: Michael Kiley, Sean Whelan Barrett and Owen McGrath Butler. So Waterford get the first possession. The rain has just subsided here in Semple Stadium. Maybe just a little bit of mist falling down, but nothing too bad as Waterford slowly build this ball up to the Tipperary 21-yard line. Waterford playing into the left to right, and they're going to have a shot at the post. Someone gets really underneath this ball. It's going to land awkwardly on the edge of the 14, but Michael O'Reilly does well to come out and catch that ball, and he spots Mikey O'Shea in a bit of space on his own 45, and the Mullinahone club man hand passes it to his right hand side where Paddy Feehan is in acres of space in the middle of the field. The left footed Killiney man plays this ball in, but just a poor connection with the ball, and it's going to go diagonally and out for a line ball out to Waterford. But just a slow kind of lethargic start so far, Philly.
Slow enough, alright, yeah. Maybe it's an indication though of the way we're trying to play. Like Paddy got the ball there and tried to kick it in. We haven't been playing that way. We have 3 big men inside. We started the year blown in Dungarvan with the McGrath Cup with 3 men inside, and hopefully, look, if we can get the ball into those 3 lads, they can do a bit of damage in there.
Yeah, no, it's the mist is just upped a bit as a dangerous enough ball played across the field. Keith Ryan, the Upper Church Drumban club man, as we said, making his championship debut. He was on the Upper Church Drumban under 21 hurling team last year, who won the B championship, and he's just played that ball across the field. So Tipperary looking to build their first attack. We've had no score here, just 2 minutes gone in Semple Stadium, the Munster Senior Football quarter-final. Shane O'Connell does a little step on a Waterford defender to open up a bit of space and hand passes it to his left hand side to Colm O'Shaughnessy, and Tipperary going on the attack now, and it's through number 22 Dunnalahy back to O'Shaughnessy now, is just outside the 45, has a quick look in. Stephen O'Brien is occupying that inside forward line just on the edge of the 21, so we'll see can they put a ball in on him as Jack Kendi has it. Jack Kendi plays a lovely ball into the corner, and it's won by Sean O'Connor, but Sean O'Connor's got 2 men on him. He's looking for space. Referee looked like he was about to blow for steps, but O'Connor got the ball away and Tipperary retained possession, and back to Jack Kendi. Kendi plays a ball targeted to the far corner, but it's just too far in front of Mikey O'Shea, and it's going to go out for a line ball out to Waterford just inside their own 14 down to our left hand side. So we've had 2.5 minutes, no score so far, but it'll be interesting to see where Stephen O'Brien will move around as this game progresses.
Yeah, they seem to be staying in the full forward line at the moment, so, and I'm surprised. I thought Emmett Maloney had dropped back, but he seems to be playing in the wing forward position as well. So Coleman is playing at 6, even though there's nobody there to mark at the moment. All the Waterford lads have gone behind the ball.
So Derek Corcoran now for Waterford in possession of the ball, just beats a couple of tacklers and takes it from his own 65 all the way inside the Tipperary 45, and he's eventually fouled there by Shane O'Connell, who just tried to get the hand over the shoulder there and fouled the Waterford man running through. So it looks like Jason Curry is going to have this free. It's just about 5 yards inside the 45, but only about a yard or 2 in from the sideline over on the far side underneath the new stand. So he's going to be kicking this from the left hand side of the field, facing down towards the town end. No score yet so far in this Munster Senior Football quarter-final. 3.5 minutes gone, and we await Jason Curry to take this off the ground with the right boot. So Curry, the Rathcormac clubman, takes a few steps back, almost like a rugby conversion. Now he's going to have to give this a good strike, and he strikes this. It's going to be landing kind of a crossbar level, but it's to the left and wide, harmlessly enough. So Michael O'Reilly now has a chance to take this kick out. Interesting to see how Tipperary will approach these. He's going to go short to his full back, that's Jimmy Feehan. Jimmy plays it now to Coleman Kendi and back to Michael O'Reilly, and Michael O'Reilly gets a shout from Upper Church Drumband's Keith Ryan, but instead it's Shane O'Connell now, and Tipperary just slowly building this ball up, and Waterford happy to just sit off this Tipperary kick out. And,
you can see the two wing corner forwards for Waterford. They're both playing as sweepers here, so
they've almost five across the middle of the field here.
It's going to be difficult to break it down. It's not a nice system to play against, but the one way of breaking it down is trying to get the ball in that bit quicker.
And someone who can do that is Jack Kendi. And here's the first look we get at Stephen O'Brien. He gets possession of the ball and wins a free straight away, the Ballina clubman. And what a performance he put in here for Ballina in that intermediate county final against Mullinahone last October. And he's won himself a free, returned from a hamstring injury. I spoke to him during the week at the launch of the Munster Senior Football Championship down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and he spoke of just the frustration of looking on from the sidelines as Tipperary had a poor league campaign. So he'll be raring to go here today, Philip.
I'm sure he will, and you're right, he's a very good club player, very good county player. He's been a great servant to Tipperary here. Just looking inside the three inside men, we have a bit of advantage if we can get a high ball in as well.
Yeah. So Stephen O'Brien and Stephen Quirk are in there, and O'Brien has this ball on the edge of the 21 and over his left shoulder. Has it got the accuracy, and he marks his return with a point. The first point of the game goes to Tipperary, and it goes to number 13, the captain, Stephen O'Brien. 5.5 minutes gone, 1 point to no score. And when you have a ball winner like that, just get the ball into him.
Nice score, just turned over the shoulder straight, no messing with it. Nice score.
So just from around the central position on the 21-yard line, faced into the Kleinen end, Stephen O'Brien puts Tipperary 1 point to no score up as Waterford look to come out of their defence from this short kick out now, and they've worked it up to their corner forward, Owen McGrath Butler, but he's in the own centre back position, and he plays it to their other corner forward, Michael Kiley, and he's also in the centre back position. So Waterford just playing with one forward nearly inside the 65 here, so it's a very isolated Sean Whelan Barrett up there with Jimmy Feehan marking him and Coleman Kendi sitting in front of him. So very interesting kind of tactic, I suppose, from Waterford to just try to crowd the middle of the field, really, Philly.
Looks like it, yeah. We're playing three inside, so we're pushing them back the field, and they're good on the attack, though. They're lively. They're holding it around the middle.
Yeah.
Say two double centre backs nearly. But again, if we can push them under a bit of pressure and move that ball faster forward, we'll find space, I think.
So back on possession now is Tipperary after a loose Waterford ball went out over the sideline and inside the Tipperary 21 on the far side of the field. But Tipperary have worked it all the way now down just in front of us here across halfway as Mikey O'Shea looks to take on his man, and he does take on his man. He beats the man, he wins an advantage, and now he plays the ball out towards the edge of the D, and it's marked there brilliantly by Stephen O'Brien, and it looks like he's going to have a crack at this. He's just about 7 or 8 yards outside the centre of the D. He's going to be taking it with out of his hands with the right boot, so let's see, can the Ballina man get the distance on this? It's going to land and drop over the crossbar, and it's another point for Stephen O'Brien, and he's marked his quality early so far in this game.
Big time, nice little move from Tipp there. Mike O'Shea came off the sideline, kicked the ball into Stephen.
And Stephen wins the mark and puts it over the bar. So 2 points to no score. Tipperary in the lead here. 7 minutes gone. You're listening to Tip FM's coverage of the Munster Senior Football quarter final as Waterford, interesting from their own kick out, just passing it around the back, and the goalkeeper made a run out to the sideline, and luckily enough Waterford weren't dispossessed, and they've got the ball up now through their number 12, Jason Curry, and now Waterford look to surge down through the middle of the field as it starts to open up just a little bit for Brian Lynch. He brings it up to the 45, gives a very lobbed, high-fisted hand pass, and it just makes its way as far as Sean Whelan Barrett. Whelan Barrett now might have a shot at the post. He's on the edge of the D, gives it off to Jason Curry. He's going to have a shot, and it lands into the wishful hands of Michael O'Reilly and goes there. And now Tipperary can make a break up the left hand side here. Just in front of the dugouts is Mikey O'Shea. He crosses the 65-yard line, cuts inside, gets it off to Jack Kendi. Kendi gets a shout, and he plays a ball targeting Stephen O'Brien. O'Brien's out in front of his man, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep that ball in play, and it's gone out over the sideline, and it is going to be a line ball out for Waterford. But definitely it's eyes up from the middle of the field, and can we get it into Stephen?
It is, yeah. It's much better from the way we've played in the league. We're trying to get that ball in there. The boys, the three inside, are moving nicely. There's a lot of space there for them if they can use it, And
we've kind of been calling out for that, Philly, at a lot of the league games we've seen so far from Tipperary, that if they can have a target man inside, it just gives an out ball, and it kind of forces defences to not to stretch just a little bit more and opens up.
It pulls you back into your defence area, and you leave a bit of space then, particularly if you're going to play a sweep or you have one man around the 6 area.
So Tipperary almost overturned the ball in the middle of the field, but Waterford hold on to it through Michael Curry, and Curry gets it back now in a bit of space. He's up to the 45 and he hand passes it across the 45 to Owen McGrath Butler, who hand passes it into the full forward line, and this is the full forward, Sean Whelan Barrett. He's inside the Tipperary 14 and the town end side, hand passes back out, and this should be a score for Waterford, but the shot from number 8 there, Michael Curry, just drifted across the front of the goals and out to the left and wide. So a wide for Waterford there. They've had 2 or 3 so far as their goalkeeper is pushed up to the 45 for this kick out, but Michael O'Reilly has played the short ball, and Tipperary going to work it out through Keith Ryan. Ryan goes across the 45 to Shane O'Connell. Shane O'Connell, of course, captained the team through much of the league following the injuries to Conor Sweeney and Stephen O'Brien, but the Golden Kilfeacle man wears number 2 today, and he's in possession of the ball on his own 65, and he hand passes it forward to the centre back, that's Coleman Kendi, and Kendi gives it off to his brother Jack, and Jack now hand passes it across the field to Donagh Lahey. Lahey now brings it up to the 45, gets it off to Paddy Fian. Fian now in possession of this ball, and he goes across the 45. Tipperary just building this attack on a little bit more space. Jack Kendi now looks to break a tackle and goes backwards. Tipperary just slowly bringing up this play inside the 45 now, and another nice little step from Mikey O'Shea. He runs into a bit of trouble, looks like he's been pulled down, tries to get a hand pass off to Coleman Kendi, and Kendi just shooting for the point there inside the 14 but at the angle, running towards the corner flag, kicked it with his left boot, but it never had the accuracy and goes wide at the near post. So still 2 points to no score, 10.5 minutes gone, but Tipperary looking a bit better in attack here today, Philly.
Yeah, but I suppose it's fair to say that Waterford aren't great either. They're not putting any great pressure on. There's no great tackling out there. I haven't seen one shoulder hit gone in yet, so it's a standoffish game.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's just passive. I'd like to see us be a bit more intense in that, because in a couple of weeks when you go to face Kerry, you're going to have to be in contact with every ball. Yeah,
there's been a lot of time on the ball for the likes of Jack Kendi and even the Waterford players now, as number 10 Conor Murray brings this ball up and he hand passes across the 45, and it's a dangerous looking attack as number 8 Michael Curry is fouled there by Coleman Kendi. So it is going to be a free in for Waterford, and it's inside the edge of the D, and it's a very central position, and Coleman Kendi, in fairness, he's frustrated with that one. It didn't look like an awful lot in it, but it's going to be a handy free now for Waterford.
Not a lot in it, but I suppose once the hand goes in around the back, you're in trouble. It makes it easy. Man goes to ground, it's good. The ref is going to give it.
So free in now, and it's Jason Curry going to be taking this, and he's an interesting style of taking his frees. He's a good 10 yards behind the ball here, and he's going to be taking it off the ground here. So looking for Waterford's first point of the game. We've got just 11.5 minutes gone as we await Jason Curry kicking this in towards the town end, and straight over the black spot it goes. The first score of the game for Waterford goes the way of number 12 Jason Curry, and it is 2 points to 1 in favour of Tipperary.
Waterford appear to be allowing us the short kick out, stepping back off it again.
Yeah, they seem to be finding a lot of space here for Keith Ryan down the left hand side, so any sort of 1-2s in around the Tipperary goal mouth seems to open things up for Keith Ryan, and he's in possession of the ball now, and he hand passes it across the middle of the field to Paddy Fian, and Fian now to Mikey O'Shea, and O'Shea now to Jack Kendi. Kendi crosses the middle of the field as a bit of sunshine just breaks through the clouds here in Semple Stadium as Tipperary lead Waterford 2 points to 1, and here's Mikey O'Shea, the Mullinahone man, goes backwards now to Coleman Kendi, but it's still slow kind of build up attack from Tipperary, but Waterford have 15 men behind the ball, and Tipperary now still in possession over on that far side through Colm O'Shaughnessy, and he goes back to Shane O'Connell, and O'Connell looks to go crossfield perhaps to Coleman Kendi, and he plays it to Coleman Kendi, who's just in front of David Power, the Tipperary manager, and on the attack now is Mikey O'Shea again, and he hand passes it backwards now, and Tipperary just in possession of this ball inside the 45 now of Waterford as Keith Ryan gives it off to Stephen O'Brien. Stephen O'Brien gets through a couple of tackles and knocks a man to the ground, and now he gives off the hand pass, and it opens up, and it could be a shot for O'Brien, maybe breaks another tackle. Now he's going to have a shot at the post, kicks it high, and the crowd over on the far side could tell you straight away it's a third point for Tipperary, and it's a third point for Stephen O'Brien, and it's a good welcome return for the Ballina man.
He's having a big impact in the game. He had a huge impact, to be fair. Great movement out of him there. The break seems to have done him no harm. Now we need to push up on the kick out and try and win this ball, try and turn it early.
So Stephen O'Brien, his third point of the game, second from play, and the other was from a mark, and he almost forces a turnover, and he does now, and Stephen Quirke's in possession of this ball, and Quirke hand passes it in now to Sean O'Connor, and O'Connor looks to tap it over the bar from the mistake from the goalkeeper, and over the bar as it goes, and that's what Philly Ryan was calling for, to push up on these kickouts. They pushed up, they forced the goalkeeper to give a lobbed, loopy, dangerous hand pass outside the edge of his own D. It was intercepted by Stephen Quirke, and it was played in, and it was being put over the bar. I believe it was Sean O'Connor, was it put over the bar?
It was Sean, yeah.
So 4 points playing 1, Tipperary in the lead, and now they've forced the long kick out there from the Waterford goalkeeper, and Tipperary have won that in a brilliant take by Keith Ryan as the ball was on the ground, flicked it up into his hands, and here's Jack Kendi. Kendi now has Tipperary men to his right, and one of them is Kevin Fahy, and Fahy plays a ball in over the top to Emmett Maloney, and Maloney now to Donaghy. Lahy gets a shoulder and gives it off to Stephen Quirke, and Quirke shoots from the edge of the 21, but it's just wide at the near post. But Tipperary just upping it a little bit in the last minute or two, Philly.
Yeah, the intensity has pulled up a bit, all right, yeah, no harm to see, and we're pushing on the kick out as well. Like, I mean, you can see now we have 4 or 5 across the half forward line, 3 in the full forward line, so it's good to see.
And it looks like the Waterford goalkeeper, Paddy Hunt, is just taking an extra second to survey his options out the field, and he does go short this time, so Waterford look to build it up. But 14 and a half minutes gone, Tipperary 4 points, Waterford 1 point, and not Emmett Maloney, it was Mikey O'Shea just got a touch on that ball looking to overturn, and Jack Kendi came in to try and swarm the tackle, but he's fouled the centre back there, Brian Luby, so it's going to be a free out to Waterford. So 4 points playing 1, Tipperary in the lead as Waterford look to build the attack on the far side of the field. But 14 and a half minutes gone, you'd be happy enough so far, Philly, but Waterford on the attack here again.
Yeah, you'd be happy enough. Like, I mean, the game is going nicely, but a little bit of loose play at the back. I'd like to see, as I say, push up harder and then when they're pulling forward with the ball, you know. That might be a little bit harsh of me, but
it's definitely not in your face defending anyway from both teams, it has to be said. So the game has been played at kind of a slow enough pace here, as again another bit of sun just lights up Semple Stadium here as the rain subsides for a time being, but it's still a wet ball out there. But on the ball now is Derek Corcoran, and he plays it out to his right hand side to Brian Lynch of Waterford, and he gives the ball off to Derek Corcoran, and Corcoran boots this high into the sky and over the bar. A great score there from the Waterford number 11, 4 points playing 2, but that was a top score there from Waterford.
Yeah, he came in and run, made his time, his run, came in off the shoulder and just popped it over the bar. Good score.
So 4 points playing 2 now. Tipperary still in the lead as Waterford got that point there, and still probably a good Waterford crowd here cheering that one on, as the Waterford Camogie team won a Camogie League final against Wexford here just before today's game. So a good Waterford crowd probably sticking around to see their senior footballers, and their senior footballers have overturned Tipperary in the middle of the field, but a good tackle there by Coleman Kendi, and that looks like it's going to be a Tipperary ball. It was one of those balls rolling towards the tunnel here in Semple Stadium, and it looked like the Waterford number 10 there, Conor Murray, believed it was a Waterford ball, so he just let it roll out, but the linesman said no, that is a Tipperary ball. So Tipperary get to mount another attack there, as we just see Teddy Doyle and a few of the other Tipperary substitutes keeping themselves warm down there. And Teddy Doyle just, I believe he had twinged his hamstring just a little bit on training on Friday night, so it's good to see he's still able to jog around and all that. He might feature at some stage here, as a loose ball is played to Jack Kendi in the middle of the field, and he looks like he's been completely wrapped up in the tackle, and the referee allows Tipperary to take the free quickly, and it's just Paddy Fian gives a loose hand pass, and he's overturned now, and on the attack now Waterford through the middle of the field, and it opens up for Derek Corcoran now. Tipperary believe they should have had a free as Paddy Fian gets back up, but Derek Corcoran now, it really does open up for him. He's up to the 21, he can take a point if he wants, but he goes for a crazy fisted pass across the edge of the box, and it's been intercepted by Tipperary, and very questionable decision here as Philly Ryan raises his eyebrows at that.
Given that he was able to kick the last score, he was closer to goal there. He had a yard of space, and he should have kicked it over, I think. So
very poor decision making from the Derek Corcoran, the Waterford number 11, but luckily for a Tipperary point of view, they've overturned Waterford and are in possession of the ball. 17 and a half minutes gone, Tipperary 4 points, Waterford 2 points. It's a 2 point lead for David Power's side, as he's just having a chat with some of his backroom team there, as Tipperary just slow things down through Kevin Fahy on the far side. And Kevin Fahy scored a goal against Waterford in the McGrath Cup earlier this year. The other goal, of course, came from Sean O'Connor that day, just after 10 seconds, I believe that the goal was that day down in Dungarvan. But Tipperary now 4 points to 2 in the lead, just 18 minutes gone now, as referee James Malloy watches on as Colin O'Shaughnessy gives a hand pass to Kevin Fahey just over on that far side, as Tipperary are just inside the 65 of Waterford, and Waterford have every man on their team inside their own 65 now, as Shane O'Connell surges through and he looks to get a hand pass off, and he does get it off to Kevin Fahey, and Kevin Fahey looks to turn around and give the hand pass back to Coleman Kendi, and Coleman Kendi just can't hold on to it, and the ball is on the ground and Waterford are in possession, and it's Paddy Feehan now who gives away the free. And Tipperary seem to be adopting that tactic that has been used against them a lot this year, is that when they're overturned in the opposition's half, they're happy to just foul them there and give the lads a chance to get back.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, maybe they've learned from previous games of what other teams have done to them. Again, I don't. Even though the defence was crowded by Waterford, I just think we were a bit slack on it.
Yeah, it was a hand pass from Kevin Fahey, and it looks like another shooting opportunity for Michael Curry of Waterford with the left boot, kicks it high and over the bar, but Waterford under no real pressure, 30 yards out. That one flew between the posts and over the bar. 4 points playing 3. Tipperary still in the lead, but Waterford with the last 2 points, and looking the more dangerous of the teams when they're attacking just in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, but, it's strange. I suppose they are crowding their defence, and then when they're open, it's like a basketball team. They're flooding forward as quick as they can.
So 4 points playing 3, Tipperary in the lead, but just struggling to break down this Waterford defence in the last couple of moments. Might need to just inject a little bit of pace and try and get the ball maybe into Stephen O'Brien if they can, as O'Brien is making a move there, and it looks like Coleman Kendi is taking a bit of a blow to the head, but referee hasn't spotted anything he's going to play on, as Jack Kendi gets a hand pass off to Colin O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy now on the far side is going to boot this ball in towards the edge of the square where Sean O'Connor's in there. Sean O'Connor gets a fist on it, gets it off to Stephen Quirk, and Stephen Quirk is just blocked down, and Waterford to overturn Tipperary on the edge of their own square and look to break now through number 10 Conor Murray. A little bit of a goal chance there for Tipperary as Sean O'Connor batted down a long ball and Stephen Quirk got on it, and it was just blocked there by one of the Waterford defenders, but it's gone scrappy now in around the middle of the field. There's a couple of bodies on the ground, but more importantly Waterford have possession of the ball, and it's opened up down the middle of the field for them for Darragh Corcoran, throws a dummy and breaks the tackle of Keith Ryan, who eventually fouls him, so it's going to be a free in for Waterford halfway between the Tipperary 45 and the Waterford 65, but slight goal chance Philly for Tipperary goes a begging.
Could have been a little bit more composure probably on the ball just as it broke, and definitely a point chance, but a good block down I suppose, but we're in a precarious position now. Waterford are coming forward and we're not putting a huge amount of pressure on them either.
No, and it's kind of any time Tipperary have been overturned, Waterford, it opens up for them nearly. How many times have I said, the ball's been overturned, and it opens up now for Waterford, like in the middle of the field. There's not a lot of not a lot of Tipperary men back at this stage, and it's just another shot at the post comes in from Waterford, and the umpires are just having a long look at it, and they've waved it wide. I believe Hawkeye is in operation here today, as the box just to our left is the people operating Hawkeye, but they weren't called on just yet. So 4 points playing 3, Tipperary in the lead, and Shane O'Connell just under a bit of pressure on his own corner back position, and the hand pass goes back to Michael O'Reilly, who's in space, and plays it out to Jimmy Feehan on his left hand side. But Tipperary now a good start. Stephen O'Brien with the 3 points, and Sean O'Connor with the fourth, but it's been a good 10 minutes since probably Tipperary got that 4 points, so they need to get going here at 21 minutes gone.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we're back to where we're making mistakes, where we were making similar mistakes in the league. Unforced errors. There's the ball going out over the sideline. That's no pressure on the ball. It shouldn't be. That's a bad mistake to make now.
And Colm O'Shaughnessy puts a heavy shoulder in the first one we've seen today, and overturns a Waterford man, so it's going to be a line ball out now to Tipperary. Some of the Waterford crowd wanted a free, but play on, said the referee. The ball went out over the sideline, and Tipperary get the line ball out. So here's Jack Kendi now as he's surveying his options, bang on the middle of the field, gives it off to his midfield partner Paddy Feehan. Feehan now has space to run into, and he will eat up that space, brings it up to the 45, looks to his left, gives it off to Mikey O'Shea. O'Shea looks to break a tackle and just loses possession, runs straight into 3 Waterford men and loses possession, and now Waterford are on the attack now, and Darragh Corcoran is in the middle of the field, and there's a lot of space in front of him, and he's just got Coleman Kendi to beat, and he's got serious pace, does Darragh Corcoran, and he plays a dangerous ball into the full forward line, and it was just a foot or two in front of Sean Whelan Barrett, and if that was a better placed pass, that was a big goal chance there, as we have a Tipperary man down on the far side of the field. I believe Emmett Maloney.
Yeah, looks like Emmett, yeah.
Emmett Maloney was in just that kind of collision about 2 minutes ago, where I said there's a few people down on the ground when it got scrappy there, and he was slow to get off the ground, and now he's back on the ground, and it looks like Tipperary will be making a substitution. It looks like, is that Conor Cadell possibly warming up down below us?
Yeah, it looks like Conor Cadell taking off his top, alright, getting ready to come in, so Emmett mustn't be able to take any more part in the game. A little bit of composure there from Waterford, and they were in with a score again, number 11 coming through with it.
Darragh Corcoran,
yeah, that's his second questionable decision now in the last couple of minutes after kicking a great score.
Yeah, he's got serious pace. He's dangerous when he has a bit of space around him, and Jimmy Feehan just burst through a couple of tacklers there, and it looks like Emmett Maloney. It looks like an ankle issue if I was to just guess by the way he's walking over on that far sideline, and he will not be able to take any more part in this game, as it looks like it is going to be Conor Cadell ready to come on down below as the JK Bracken's clubman wearing number 19 there, as Jack Kennedy plays a ball straight into the Waterford sweeper, and Waterford have overturned Tipperary, but Tipperary haven't put in any good attack in the last 10 minutes at all, it has to be said, Philly. They still lead 4 points to 3, but it's been poor stuff by Tipperary in the last couple of minutes, and nearly overturned Waterford there. Waterford on the attack. It's very scrappy stuff, and Shane O'Connell puts in a boot, and luckily it deflects back to him, because if it deflected back to the Waterford man, it would have been opened up properly, as Keith Ryan plays a lovely ball forward now to Donalahy. Lahy crosses the 45, and Tipperary just struggling now when they get to this part of the field, as they have in much of the league, as they get just out around the 45 of the opposition, and suddenly it's devoid of any options. So I think they need to do it getting Stephen O'Brien back in the full forward line, just to get a few balls in on him to keep the Waterford defence honest there.
Yeah, they're allowing him jog around the place, just cover a bit of space, and we're not going at it quick enough. We need to up the pace a small bit. We were playing with a bit of intensity earlier on. That's gone from us again.
So here's Keith Ryan now. He might have a little pop if he wants. No, he's on the left wing of the field here, just inside the 45, and he gives off to Coleman Kennedy, and Coleman plays a dangerous ball back across the edge of the 65, but Shane O'Connell deals well and gets it off to Jack Kennedy, and Kennedy always looking like he's going to have a pop when he gets the ball. He angles his body that way to keep the defenders guessing what he's going to do, but instead now he plays the ball back to his brother Coleman now just inside the 65 of Waterford, and he's looking to possibly give a hand pass over the top to Paddy Feehan, but instead he gives it laterally, and now the ball is in the hands of Stephen O'Brien, and it always just looks like something might happen when the Ballinaman gets in possession of it, and he's back in possession again. He's going on a run and gives off another hand pass, and he looks to get the ball back, but instead now Tipperary hold possession, and a ball played in across the edge of the 14 by Shane O'Connell, and it's just straight to a Waterford man, and you can see the frustration starting to build just on David Power and co there down below, as it's really poor stuff from Tipperary.
Yeah, that was a disappointing ball. Yeah, I don't know, we had held it long enough, so I don't see why we didn't hold it for another pass or two and try and create the opening. It was never on. The sweeper was covering there the whole time, and then Waterford are out now.
So Waterford now bring the ball all the way up to Tipperary's 45. Some quick footwork there by Jordan O'Sullivan, and gets a hand pass off now, and it could be a shot at the post for Jason Curry, and it's another disappointing effort from a Waterford point of view, as that's the second ball that's landed into the hands of Michael O'Reilly. He plays it out now to Mikey O'Shea, as we see Emmett Maloney now still making his way off. He had to come across the whole way across the field with the physio here, and he looks to be in a bit of pain with that, what I would guess is an ankle injury, so he's finally made his way to the dugout, and and we
haven't managed to get the sub on yet either.
Yeah,
so
the ball hasn't gone out of play, so Tipperary playing with 14 men, as Conor Cadell will nearly have to do another warm-up ready to come on, as he still hasn't been introduced to the field. And Emmett Maloney, maybe it's kind of it's a left leg injury anyway, maybe left knee is just getting strapped up there, so hopefully it's nothing too serious for the Drummond Inch club man, as the ball is played in now to the corner towards Stephen Quirk, and Quirk now does well to just hold off his man and gets it now to the hands of Coleman Kennedy. Kennedy passes it backwards to Paddy Feehan, and Feehan plays a nice ball in, and well worked stuff there from Paddy Feehan and Stephen Quirk. Stephen Quirk was just in a bit of space, and Paddy Feehan knew that he can just lob that straight to him, it would be a mark, and Quirk now has a chance for a Tipperary score.
Clever play now, he was just right on the 45 on the edge of it, he just nearly pulled his toe back, so good one.
Quirk kicks as high, is it going to curl enough? No, says the referee. And no, says the umpire. It was very, very close, but not given there, as Emmett Maloney finally gets to the dugout there. But it's a substitution now, and on comes Conor Cadell. And if anyone saw Teddy Doyle's quick Q&A there on some of the Tipperary GAA social media platforms during the week, Teddy Doyle was asked his player to watch in 2023, and he said Conor Cadell. So, actually he said Cathal Deely, I should say. So Cathal Deely is not involved here today, of course. I believe he's injured, but Conor Cadell, another one of the youthful Tipperary players, and another one to watch as well this year, and hopefully he can make an impact. And he's a player that can inject a bit of pace into things for Tipperary.
Yeah, he's a good ball carrier. Good to see him out there. I'm sure they wouldn't have liked to use him as early, but Yeah, hopefully if we can get him on the ball coming back from a bit deeper and get run at this Waterford team.
So long ball into the square, and there is Stephen O'Brien, and he fists it into the back of the net, and that is what we've been talking about. A long ball played in, and Stephen O'Brien was 2 yards outside the edge of the square, had the defender on his back, but Stephen O'Brien fisted into the top corner, didn't give the goalkeeper a chance, and all of a sudden Tipperary have the goal. 1-4 now, playing 3 points, and we wait for the scoreboard to change here, but that's what we've been talking about. Long ball in.
Fantastic ball in, nice. Stephen held off with the man with one hand and just buried the ball with the other hand. Fantastic goal. Just used every bit of height and physique that he had.
So how badly did Tipperary miss Stephen during the league? Well, Tipperary scored 1-4 today, and he's got 1-3. So it's Waterford on the attack now, on a very loose ball by Michael Curry, but it might work out for Waterford, and the referee has spotted a free there, and it's a free in for Waterford, which I must say is soft as butter.
It's 6-1, half dozen the other. They were all pulling out of each other. So it
was one of those ones where the midfielder Michael Curry was on the edge of the D, and it looked like he was going for a score. Completely got under the ball. The ball was up in the air and had a defender and a forward underneath it, both kind of with one hand on each other and one hand in the air. But the referee saw a foul from the Tipperary defender, so it is going to be a free in for Waterford now, just on the 14, and it should be just a tap over. So it's currently 1-4 to 3 points after 29 minutes. Tipperary in the lead, and it is now 1-4 to 4 points as Jason Curry pops his second point of the game. So Tipperary in a 3-point lead now, 29 minutes gone. You'd like to see a strong finish before half time, Philly.
Yeah, it would be nice. We push on a small bit, second ball on the pitch now, so we can't take the kick out. 5 minutes to go to half time. Look, it's a comfortable position, but it's not you'd like to have a bit more scores on the board, you know.
Yeah, and luckily for Tipp to get that goal, because they had really been poor in the last 10-15 minutes, it had to be said, from an attacking point of view, so they definitely needed that goal.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it was a long ball in, nice little score, well worked, but again we're too slow with the ball. I'd like to see us a bit quicker with it, move it up.
Yeah,
we have the danger inside, so that's where we need to get the ball into as quick as possible.
And Waterford are happy to just put everyone back behind the ball, so I feel like the quicker you go, the less time they have to get set up. So let's see what Tipperary can do now in this last 5 minutes of this first half, as Jack Kendy now has his ball on the edge of the 45, and the Waterford sweeper has just stepped back a little bit as Stephen O'Brien runs into a couple of tacklers, and there's a loose ball there on the ground, and O'Brien comes in to win it, and he wins his free now. Arguably should have won a free a few moments before that, but the Ballina man is just down, and he's still on the ground, so let's hope he's just taken a breather for himself, as he was involved in a number of tackles there, and the physios are in. So
yeah, I wouldn't like to see him on the ground too long now, because I mean we are relying on him in front of that goal. We could use him. We don't need him to go off injured here.
So he's still down on the ground as Jack Kendy has the ball in his hand, preparing for this free. So we have 30 minutes 45 seconds gone. You're listening to Tipp FM's coverage of Tipperary versus Waterford in the Munster Senior Football Championship quarter final, and our coverage here on Tipp FM is with thanks to Martin O'Dwyer Family Butchers in Cashel. And Stephen O'Brien's still down. It looks to be some sort of maybe kind of head injury, or it looks like he's just kind of slow to get back up, and hopefully he's okay, as he's just slowly getting back up onto his feet now, and it looks like he is going to be able to continue. And a sigh of relief and applause from some of the Tipperary fans over on that far side.
Exactly, yeah, big unit. Like, I mean, we do need him here in this game, you know. He's pulling us through at the moment.
So Jack Kendy now ready to take this free. He's just about 2-3 yards inside the 45, and a relatively central position, closer to the right wing of the field than the centre. But Jack Kendy now, Tipperary may be playing into a slight breeze, hard to tell from up here, but Jack Kendy now usually would have the distance. There's a number of players in around the edge of the square, and they might need this, but that's a brilliant strike from the Clonmel Commercials Club man, straight over the bar off the deck from Jack Kendy, and that makes it 1-5 to 4 points. Tipperary in the lead, but Kendy such a solid striker of the ball.
Yeah, he made that one nicely. Yeah, I think you're right. Just a slight breeze against him, but nothing significant, you know. Long kick out now from the Waterford goalie.
And the Waterford attacker now, that's Derek Corcoran, gets onto this break, and he's pulled back there by Jack Kendy. And
see a black card here. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. He'll be looking not to.
Yeah, silly stuff from Jack Kendy. It had opened up for Waterford, but he could be off for 10 minutes now, and I would be surprised if he doesn't get a black card. He got a black card already in the league campaign, so just has that in him to he's a very kind of relaxed kind of player when he's on the field, and sometimes that maybe gets him into bad positions defensively, and he's having a chat with the referee. So interesting to see what this card colour will be, and that looked yellow to me, so a yellow card for Jack Kendy, and we can count that one as lucky enough. Not a lot of dissent or anything from the Waterford crowd, so... But luckily enough, because Waterford were on an attack there, and that tackle did completely halt the attack.
Did, yeah, he wrapped the arm in around, and I think he's lucky enough to get away without the black card now, to be fair.
So Tipperary remain with 15, as do Waterford, as Waterford go on the attack now through Darragh Corcoran, and he under a lot of pressure there from Colm O'Shaughnessy, but he kicks the ball over the bar, and that's a great score there from Darragh Corcoran. And now the score is 1-5 to 5 points. Waterford bring it back to a 3-point game, as Tipperary now is 33 minutes on the clock, and Tipperary build out from their defence from the short kick out, and Keith Ryan has found himself in a bit of space again and gets a 1-2 off Coleman Kendi, and Kendi hand pass it forward now to Mikey O'Shea, and O'Shea now has a look inside and solos it back and gives it off to Jack Kendi. Kendi now on his own 65 plays it across now to Colm O'Shaughnessy. 1-5 playing 5 points, 33 and a half minutes gone in the first half of the Munster Senior Football quarter final, as it looks like we have a number of goal games. Crowd from both teams ready to come on. Another long ball played in, this time towards Stephen Quirk, and brilliantly on the edge of the square catches it and calls for the mark, and the referee hasn't given it. No.
I think he might have thought that Colm O'Shaughnessy, who played the ball in, was inside the 45, and he was outside it, but it was caught cleanly by Stephen. It would have been a certain score because he was in the square, you know.
Yeah, so I don't know, Stephen Quirk, luckily from a Tipperary point of view, as Stephen Quirk called for the mark, he stopped moving, and the Waterford lad just come over and fisted the ball out of his hand, and it's gone out for a 45 that Jack Kendi has come out to play, but as we have 1 minute of additional time to play, so interesting one. I suppose the rule is it has to be kicked from outside the 45.
Yeah.
So which is funny, and it has to travel
20 metres.
Right, yeah. So that ball travelled about 55 metres, I'd say. But if he wasn't outside the 45, then that's the rule. But here's Jack Kendi now, this time from just left of centre on the 45. Kicks this ball high. It's not accurate though, and it's going to go to the right and wide. So wide there from Jack Kendi as the clock ticks 34 minutes 52 seconds. 1-5 to 5 points. Tipperary in the lead. 1-3 coming from Stephen O'Brien, and 1-2 of that was from play. And Tipperary just push up on this short kick out, and Sean O'Connor fouls the corner back there. That's number 4, Liam Fennell, and there's a bit of afters, and the referee says Waterford to bring this ball up, so they've brought it up now to the 45, and there's Conor O'Corrine, and he plays the ball back now to Liam Fennell, and Fennell brings it up to the 45. So this probably likely going to be the last possession of the first half, and hopefully Tipperary can hold on to this lead. 1-5 playing 5 points, but it's Waterford on the attack, and Waterford man runs straight into Donalahi, and it's a free into Waterford. David Power not happy with that, but not sure if Donalahi could do much in terms of getting out of the way or anything.
He's ground. He's a strong shoulder. The full forward is finding himself in a bit of space here.
Sean Whelan Barrett now in possession, and he gets brilliantly dispossessed there by Jimmy Feehan, but Feehan just struggles to win this ball now, and it's almost like a ruck ball forming there. No one quite really wants to touch it because it's right on the sideline, and the linesman over there has a decision to make. He has his arms raised up. It looks like the linesman doesn't quite know which way to give this ball, so it's going to be a throw-in on the Tipperary 14, maybe just on the Tipperary 21. Tipperary down on the town end side, on the far side of the field, as myself and Philly Ryan are in the old stand here looking across, as the rain has really subsided now, so no real excuse for handling issues, but a ball has been dropped there by Waterford, and Tipperary stuck inside their own corner-back position. But there is the half-time whistle. Tipperary with the lead here over Waterford at half-time in the Munster Senior Football quarter-final. It is 1-5 to 5 points. Tipperary in the lead. We'll get the thoughts of Philly Ryan and half-time analysis after these. So half-time here in Semple Stadium in the Munster Senior Football quarter-final. Tipperary taking on Waterford, and it is the Premier County with a 3-point lead at half-time. 1-5 for Tipperary, 5 points for Waterford. Paul Carroll here on commentary with Philly Ryan alongside me. And Philly, it's a strange first half. It played at a very kind of lethargic, kind of slow pace for much parts of it, and it's just that goal from Stephen O'Brien that was fisted into the back of the net from a long ball that separates the sides.
Yeah, it's I suppose you have two teams playing Division 3 and Division 4 football, so it's going to be a pace under what you'd be normally used to seeing in summer championship. It just Waterford dropping back off it, allowing Tipp to come forward, Tipp coming forward at slow pace. You know, we're not hitting it fast enough. We're not using the men inside often enough. I think the big discussion with the Tipp management underneath us here, just need to get that ball in. Maybe Conor Cadell coming onto the ball a bit faster. Maybe get Jack Kendi getting it into the three boys inside would be, there's chances there. There's a height disadvantage for Waterford. we have probably a foot on the lads inside, 2 cornerbacks definitely.
And any ball that's gone in has, like Stephen Quirk had that one at the end of the half, Stephen O'Brien fisted it in, but there's been other balls that has been contested in the air that have been won by Tipperary in the full forward line, so you'd like to see them just get more of that, really.
Yeah, and now Waterford won't be too disappointed either going in, because they'll have looked at it and they'll say, well, their number 11 is very pacey, their half forward line is getting on a lot of ball.
Yeah.
But they're playing 13 and 15 back around their own D, so they're not going to be constructive from there. So we just need to be careful when they break with the ball. We need to mind ourselves, be set up at the back line. Don't know what the big discussion is. I don't know, are they thinking of introducing somebody, or maybe they're...
Yeah, the Tipperary management now are just only going in for the half-time now. They instead on the field to just have a chat with each other there. Anthony Shelley's having a chat with David Power going in, but and Declan Brown down there as well. They're all having good to see Tommy Toomey out there as well, but they're all having a chat. So yeah, interesting to see what there is. And it's worth mentioning, anyone listening who has someone involved in the goal games, there's a female and a male goal games, boys and girls playing, and number 7 for Tipperary has just scored an unbelievable point there. So whoever number 7 is on the goal games, a great score there. But yeah, the Tipperary management team have had a long chat there at half-time, so interesting to see what they will be saying. And Philly just having a look at the team sheets here.
Danny McGuinness from Templemore,
Danny McGuinness, what a score that was. Left boot from about 30-40 yards over the small goals. So a great score there. But sticking with the 1-5 to 5 points at half time, Stephen O'Brien was probably the big talking point coming into the game in terms of if him finally being back, and he didn't waste any real time introducing himself back to the stage.
No, he certainly has not. He's been a huge addition. He's as you said, he scored 1-3 all from play in the first half. He's been a big influence on the game in around the 45-yard line, coming on with the ball. Got a little bit of a knock, and thankfully he recovered from that. We don't need him off the field, we need him on the field.
Yeah.
What can we add to it in the second half? I don't actually know. You'll have probably Mark Russell coming in off the sideline. I believe Luke Boland is out, so he won't be probably coming in. He had an injury there training Friday night as well. So what influence will the bench give us if Waterford did decide to come out and play a bit, and they look like they can play? Their 11 can have 2 questionable decisions just in front of goal. Probably another 2 scores there from, but then again, I suppose we could say the same. Stephen Quirk had 1 block down and didn't get the mark that turned out to be a 45. So
that wasn't converted. So that was probably a point left behind from a Tipperary point of things. But yeah, no, it was very interesting. Like Joe, with a championship, you expect that to be just a little bit up from the league, but it's been kind of played at that similar pace in terms of a lot of the time Tipperary get the ball, it's very slow build up, allows the defence to get back, and this Waterford defence are happy to sit back.
Yeah, they are. It's a bit pedestrian, all right, but I suppose the opposition are dictating that to a certain extent. They are dropping behind it. They have a lone full forward at times, and even he comes behind the ball at times. So you're dealing with 14 men behind the ball, and to break that system down, you have to have played it in training at several occasions. And you really have to go through what you're going to do. You have to get the strike runner off the shoulder early, and fast. We're not doing that. There's nobody going through. Stephen O'Brien did go through at one stage. Maybe we'll have a bit of Teddy Doyle in the second half. Maybe it might have been precaution that they left him out, and he might bring a little bit of physicality as well to that. Might add something to it, and I suppose Mark Russell will probably come in, and he'll be no doubt bring a bit of physicality as well. Great player when he comes in. He's often 2-3 points.
Yeah, so there is definitely improvements Tipperary can make in this second half, but one thing that has to be worth mentioning as well is these are probably 2 sets of players, and I can't speak for Waterford, but definitely from the Tipperary point of view, that aren't at peak confidence, you'd have to say, after their league campaign. So that makes everything harder. That probably slows things down as well, in terms of just taking that extra second to think, should I do this, should I do that? They're probably not playing in a more kind of free-flowing kind of football, just because of how their season has gone so far. And David Power even mentioned it during the week at that launch, that he said that players' confidence is low and management's confidence is low from the league they'd have. So nothing comes easy when you're in that kind of confidence. When confidence is low, nothing comes easy.
That's a fair point, Paul. It's very relevant. Sometimes you can forget about that. We did have not the best of leagues. We were relegated out of Division 3. We'll be playing Division 4 next year. So your confidence is probably a little low. And you're right. Probably you're looking to make the right decision rather than making the wrong one. and maybe holding that ball up that split second rather than letting it go and being a bit more industrious with it. Yeah, fair point, it is, and it has to be, because confidence has to be low.
So it is half-time here, and Tipperary do have the lead. 1-5 playing 5 points is the half-time score. We're going to take a very quick ad break, and we'll be back with the second half of the Munster Senior Football quarter-final after these. So half-time still here in Semple Stadium, and it is Tipperary with a 1-5 to 5 point lead over Waterford in the Munster Senior Football quarter-final. Paul Carroll here with Philly Ryan alongside me, and still the two Go games are happening out on the field. The ladies to our left and the boys to our right hand side. So it's something I like to see, because these young lads will always remember the day we played in Semple Stadium, and even for Tipperary football, like the more young lads you can get playing in Semple Stadium, the better. So good to see both sets of players out there.
True, yeah, everybody wants to play in Semple Stadium. Like, it is fantastic for those kids there. They'll remember this day as long as they live. And to be fair to them, they're giving it everything they have. They're 10 or 15 minutes of fame. They're going for it.
Yeah.
Both teams, in fairness, because the girls are very lively here, and the ball is moving very well. Maybe the two teams that have gone into the dugout dressing rooms might take a lesson from them.
Yeah, it's end-to-end stuff, it has to be said. But it's a good initiative as well, because even if we look at the behind the goals on the far side, they're playing across the field, the two games going on, but a great crowd around the goal, so they bring a good crowd to the game as well. And Joe, I always feel that Tipp football just needs that, and needs to keep things like this going.
You need some sort of initiative. Yeah, look, it's fantastic. Like, you can see the parents of both teams behind one set of goals there, so it's entertaining, and I'm sure everybody's proud of their own, so it'll be a great day for them, and they'll be 10 foot tall going home. So,
and hopefully a similar feeling will be on the minds of the Tipperary senior footballers as well, and the management squad. As I said, they haven't won a competitive game outside, like, let's say, the McGrath Cup since they played Waterford in last year's quarter-final. That was, I think, April 30th 2022, so something like 344 days without winning a game. So a win, no matter what happens in the semi-final, whoever plays Kerry, they're not going to be expected to do much. I think Kerry are 1-14 or something to win the Munster Championship. Yeah. So today is just about getting that W written down beside your name in the column. Yeah, it is. Look, and we're well capable of winning this game. The Kerry game you can write off. Like, I mean, neither team is going to compete with Kerry. Probably no team is going to compete with Kerry at the moment, by the looks of it, in Munster. So yeah, they'll be going in. They'll be one of the top 2-3 teams that'll be looking at an All-Ireland. For us, it'll be vital to win the game, set ourselves up going into the Tailteann Cup, and that should be our aim. We should be looking at Tailteann Cup and trying to get in there and trying to win it. Definitely have a good run in it anyway, because you have 3 games in it that'll be group games, so they'll be ideal. You'll have one game. I think the format is that you have one home, one away, and one neutral. Yeah. So there's a chance there, a nice little chance to go at the Kerry game. Use it as a build-up, see where you are, and I'd like to see us increase our pace we're not in the Kerry game yet, obviously, so we won't count chickens. Well, from what we've seen this year, we definitely will not be doing that. True. But yeah, and the Tailteann Cup as well, the third game in it, the neutral venue game, they're kind of touting those games to be played even before some of the senior championship games. So let's say you could have Tipperary versus, I don't know, Sligo or someone like that, or Leitrim or someone, and it could be on before a Mayo game in that neutral venue. So just it gives better promotion to the whole thing, and I really do think that the Tailteann Cup will be a much bigger deal this year, considering the fact it is a group stage, and it's not kind of, we have this one knockout game to come in a few months. It's more so of we have another championship to prepare for. It's nice,
it's a good idea, 3 games, and it gives you a good run. You're not dependent on just one knockout game and you're gone. That's the year over. Yeah, you have 3 chances, and if you set yourself up and if you're right for it, you could have a good shot at it. I don't see that we've made any changes. Tipp are back out. Yeah,
Tipp just back out onto the field, and no changes to the Tipperary team, as Anthony Shelley's out on the field there just having a chat with some of the players, and the both sets of the Go Games players are just getting off the field now, and great scenes for both the boys and the girls there, so fair play to the Waterford boys and the Waterford and Tipperary boys and girls there for that half-time entertainment in the Go Games. But we've a big second half to come here as Waterford just coming back out onto the field there, and we have a look to see do they have any changes themselves coming on. Of course, they just had the one win this year, beating London in the league 2-9 to 2-5. And they lost 6 of their league games in Division 4, so they're not coming into this game on great form or confidence either. So let's see how things go in this second half. Tipperary are going to be playing in towards the town end, playing left to right, and it's going to be Waterford playing from right to left as a little bit of drizzle starts to fall here in Semple Stadium once again. So look about all ready to go, and the referee is just signalling over to some of the Go Games just to slide off the field a bit there.
You can see the tactic, can't you? Five Waterford forwards across the 45-yard line just waiting for the ball to be thrown in so they can go and run behind the ball. So
that's the rule now, isn't it? You have to be outside the 45 for the throw-in, so there's a lot of space in around the middle of the field for the two sets of midfielders, and it is Paddy Feehan and Jack Kennedy up against Brian Lynch and Michael Curry, as referee James Malloy has one final look at his clock and throws the ball up, and the second half is underway. Jack Kennedy goes for the fist, but it breaks backwards, and there's going to be a free played for Waterford, so I'm not sure what that is for. We have a Tipperary man down in the middle of the field, and it looks like is that Jack Kennedy just down holding his stomach there.
Looks like he got a little shot under a rib cage or something like that.
Yeah, just as he was going up to fist that ball away, he just came down on the ground hard, and he's just kind of on all fours now, and he looks to be in a bit of pain there as he's just back up onto his feet, and maybe winded or a shot into the ribs, as Philly said. So let's hope he can continue. Another important player for Tipperary, but you'd like to see Jack. He looks like he's going to be okay and to continue on as Waterford are going to play this free. But he's got on a lot of ball in the first half, kind of between the two 65s, and he's a kind of player that can put a good long ball in. But he needs to be probably 20 yards closer to the goals. If he can get into possession of the ball just about 20 yards further.
If he was more offensive in that, that's right, because he is a very good ball player and he's very accurate with that pass.
So Waterford now building the first attack of the second half, and it's through their midfielder Brian Lynch. He hand passes off to Dara Corcoran, who's in space, and he puts it straight over the bar. No mistake made, just inside the edge of the D. Central position, right boot, curls it over the bar. 36 minutes gone, 1-5, playing 6 points as Tipperary find possession on the far side through Keith Ryan, and he gives it off now to Colin O'Shaughnessy. But Philly, it's Dara Corcoran been dangerous 3 points so far for Waterford, and he's a good man to break onto a ball, and he can shoot fairly quickly.
He's a very lively player. He's he wasn't on my radar before, but I'll tell you, he's very good in front of the goal. He's economical, he knows what he's at.
And another Tipperary just unforced error there. I believe it was Mikey O'Shea, just ball slipping out of his hands as before he got into contact, and that allows Waterford to overturn Tipperary in the Waterford full back line, and they're going to try and work the ball out of defence down through the middle of the field, and they have opened Tipperary up now, and Brian Luby is in lots of space and around the middle of the field. Hand passes off to the right wing forward position, and it's a loose hand pass, and it could allow Keith Ryan to come in and overturn that ball, and Ryan forces the Waterford man back, and Tipperary just gets some men behind the ball, but Tipperary not dropping everyone back. It's only 12 men behind the ball for Tipperary, and they've 3 men up forward. It's Stephen, the full forward line is all still inside the Tipperary 65, or the Waterford 65 I should say, as Waterford number 7 goes on the attack, takes a lot of steps. Referee has a look, and Kevin Fahey and Shane O'Connell and Conor Cadell all combine to overturn him, and Fahey plays the ball across the edge of the end line to his goalkeeper Michael O'Reilly, who finds Keith Ryan in acres of space on that left hand side, and Keith Ryan going to bring this ball 30-40 yards, and he might give a hand pass over the top, and he does a little shimmy step and gets fouled by Dara Corcoran, and he gives off the hand pass now, or the kick pass across the edge of the 65 to Coleman Kennedy, and here's Jack Kennedy now, and Kennedy looking to break the tackle and give a hand pass off to Donagh Lahey now just trying to get the ball into Stephen O'Brien, and it's another good ball played across the edge of the 45, and the mark called by Stephen O'Brien, who's just about 5 or 6 yards inside the 45. Central enough position would be a serious score. He's going to be taking this from his hands. So let's see the Ballina clubman. I can tell you he's definitely got the distance, but I can also tell you he definitely doesn't have the accuracy. Not his best effort there from Stephen O'Brien. It goes way right and wide. So still 1-5 for Tipperary, 6 points for Waterford, a 2-point lead for Tipperary, 38.5 minutes gone here in this quarter-final.
Yeah, and Waterford are out with the ball now. From their kick out, they're up to the 65 already without a hand being laid on them.
Yeah, and there hasn't been a Tipperary man nearly within 5 yards of any Waterford lad in possession, so it's all very easy for Waterford to just bring the ball up to inside the Tipperary 65. Tipperary very much sitting back off the Waterford players when they're in possession of the ball. So interesting. It's all very easy. Myself and yourself could be playing in midfield here, just on the ball, just with the time and space that the lads are having.
Might have some chance. I don't have
So the ball is just being hand passed over and back around the 45, and now it's been played into the full forward, who's it's stuck in the far corner. That's Sean Whelan Barrett for Waterford. He solos out back outside the 21 along the edge of the sideline, and Waterford forced to go all the way back to the Tipperary 65, where number 13, Michael Kiley, is in possession for Waterford, and he tries to take on Donalahi, but Lahi forces him backwards, and hand pass goes off now to Conor Murray for Waterford. He's on the 45, hand passes it laterally across the 45, and Tipperary now just sitting back in their shell really inside the 45, and in fairness, Waterford are finding it hard to break Tipperary down here at the minute.
They're shifting across well. Every time a ball carrier gets it, the tip man moves on to him, but again, Waterford, like ourselves in the first half, they're a little bit slow on it as well, moving it forward.
Yeah, not the greatest of spectacles, it has to be said, in this second half so far, as Waterford are slow in possession. It looks like there's possibly been a foul over on that side. Referee James Malloy says play on, and after a long period of Waterford possession, it is now a Tipperary line ball out that they've played back now to Michael O'Reilly, and he shifts it off to the right hand side, where here's Kevin Fahy now just down in front of us, in front of the dugouts here. Tipperary playing from left to right, and Kevin Fahy, the Commercials club man, hand passes forward to Conor Cadell. Cadell jinks back inside and gets the hand pass all the way back now to Coleman Kendi. Kendi now to Donalahi. Now Lahi just across his own 65 has time and space to play it across the 65 to Keith Ryan. Keith Ryan to Kendi now, and it's worked back towards Coleman Kendi. Kendi now just on the Waterford 65 now, looking one way, and gives the hand pass to Colm O'Shaughnessy. A little bit of space, and Stephen Quirk puts up the hand saying deliver the ball in long, and it is delivered in long, but just too much kind of side spin on the ball, just curls it away from the Tipperary men, and now Waterford win that ball and bring it out through the middle of the field. And when they can move the ball quick, they look dangerous enough, Waterford, Philly, but that was an example of a long ball that just didn't work out for Tipperary. And
Corcoran on the ball again, coming at goal.
And he works it all the way up to the 21, and he's got Shane O'Connell to beat, and O'Connell does really well just to time the bounce of the ball and get a fist in, and Tipperary overturned it now, and here comes Shane O'Connell, and really lots of space in front of him. He needs to get a hand pass off, though he loses possession, but luckily enough it gets off to Stephen O'Brien. O'Brien gets surely a pull on the jersey there, and it was Paddy Feehan actually who just got a little tug on the jersey, and Tipperary did get away with what should have been a black card in the first half, so let's see what referee James Malloy does. He's from the Salt Hill in Galway. He's going to be calling over number 8, I believe, Michael Curry, as it's going to be a free-in for Tipperary, just a yard or two outside the 45. And let's see what this colour of the card is.
I'd say it'll be a yellow as well, because looking at it, it was just a silly little tackle, just a pull of the jersey, nothing cynical in it totally. But I see Michael O'Reilly coming up to take the kick, just probably 50 yards out.
Probably had a word with Jack Kendi after Kendi missed that last 45 just before half time, and Michael O'Reilly does have a good boot on him. He's going to be playing, I believe, with a bit of a breeze here. Hard to tell with the flags, and we can't feel any of the breeze up here ourselves. So let's see Michael O'Reilly now. He's just about 5 yards outside the 45, central enough position, facing down into the town end, and this one is gonna be drifting to the right. Can it be kept in play? It can be, but it's in possession of a Waterford man, so another missed kind of long range opportunity for Tipperary as Waterford try to work it out now, and Jack Kendi trying to get a tackle in, and he's given away a foul by number 9 Brian Lynch. So Waterford now happy to work this ball out, but Tipperary probably just you could say a bit of lazy tackling going on at times when Waterford are breaking out with the ball.
Yeah, Jack is going to have to be very careful of himself. He's after putting a strange hand in there now again, and he was involved in this one over the sideline here, so just needs to be, his next one will be a tick from the referee, and his next one then he'll be heading for the sideline.
Yeah, he's already got a yellow card, so he just needs to be a little bit careful there, as the Waterford man was just breaking walking past him. He had a hand in there, but he just pulled it away just as it might have been too long. So now on possession of the ball is Michael Curry, and it might be a shooting opportunity. It is a shooting opportunity, and it is a point for Michael Curry. It's been disputed by some of the Tipperary players, and it's been waved over the bar anyway, so over the bar it goes, and 1-5 playing 7 points, 43.5 minutes gone. It's back to a 1-point game. As we see, Mark Russell is ready to come on, so interesting to see who he will come on for, the big Aherlow clubman. And Conor Cadell now breaks into a little bit of space, and he's looking forward now, looking for a pass, and he's under a lot of pressure and manages to get the pass off to Paddy Feehan now, and Feehan plays it off to Keith Ryan on the left hand side. But Tipperary just lacking creativity, it must be said, in this first half. Haven't had any real clear cut chances. And
and it's championship football. We're playing it like the same as in the league game. You know, you really have to go at this. You have to put up the intensity a small bit. You have to take those little decisions that'll. Oh, we got away with one there.
Yeah, a loose pass eventually makes its way to Stephen O'Brien, and O'Brien gets blocked down as the ball was looking like it was going to go over the bar if he wasn't blocked down, but he was blocked down, and it goes into possession of Waterford. So still just a 1-point lead now for Tipperary. They led 1-5 at half time, but with 44 minutes gone, it is 1-5 to 7 points. Tipperary still in the lead as Paddy Feehan gives away a free, but it's going to be advantage now, and Jack Kennedy gives away the free, and it's going to be brought back now for the Paddy Feehan foul. And now we see the introduction of Mark Russell. So coming onto the field is number 26 for Tipperary, Mark Russell, and he's going to be coming on for number 22, Donalahi. So off goes Donalahi, on comes number 26, Mark Russell, and
that will shove Jack Kennedy, I'd say, to 11, so into that position that you were talking about, more offensive position. So maybe he'll have more of an impact there from 11 instead.
So Mark Russell, of course, would have been a huge part of the Tipperary League campaign last year. But he's just been kind of hampered with kind of injury and struggling to get back to full fitness throughout the league.
He has, obviously it's an endemic of
Tipperary almost opened up here. Could be a goal chance here for Waterford. They're on the edge of the square, but Tipperary have men back, and the ball is just hit towards Michael O'Reilly with no real pace. So the Clonmel Commercials man gets in possession of this ball, but he's kind of stuck in his own corner, but does well to get it off to Mikey O'Shea. But Tipperary possibly get away with one there. They had enough men back when it opened up for Waterford, and now it might open up for Conor Cadell. He's been encouraged to go by the Tipperary sideline, and he has taken this ball up across the middle of the field, and Cadell is still in possession of this ball. He needs to be careful. He's running into a couple of tacklers, and he gets fouled high there by Derek Corcoran, and referee just going to probably put him into the book. And Cadell done very well there. It was a brave run because he had no real support around him, but he decided to take on the Waterford men and wins himself a free, and probably gets Derek Corcoran in the book as he's getting a chat to from James Malloy, and it's another yellow card there.
Yeah, it just went in a little bit high and awkward, just so nothing malicious in it, but just a foul and a yellow card.
So Jack Kennedy just plays a short free to the left hand side here, where Colm O'Shaughnessy brings it up to the 45. The rain has subsided here, but still a cloudy day in Thurles as Tipperary lead by a point, and this ball played in from Coleman Kendy's targeting Stephen Quirk on the edge of the 14. Looks like he's been fouled. He has been fouled, and it's not going to be a penalty, though. He's just outside the line for the 14-yard line, but you can see he's causing the defence a lot of problems. He's a big man, Stephen Quirk, and he's well able to use his body to protect himself when a ball is coming in, and he was fouled there just as that ball was coming in. So it's going to be a chance for Tipperary to get a first score of the second half here, and it looks like Sean O'Connor is going to be the one tasked with it. So it's going to come after 11, nearly 12 minutes. It's just a free from the edge of the 14 now, that you would imagine Sean O'Connor will pop over the bar, and over the bar it goes. That's his second score of the game, but Stephen Quirk doing very well there on the edge of the square.
Yeah, nice ball in. It's the ball we're looking for. You know, the high ball in hit. There's just a danger there every time that ball goes in. Even if you could get somebody running off him, if he doesn't win clean ball, and you had the second ball coming onto the second ball, to be ideal.
So it's now 47 minutes, 20 seconds gone, 1-6 for Tipperary, 7 points for Waterford, as goalkeeper Paddy Hunt finds a lovely kick out to Jason Curry, and Curry plays it forward now. That opens up for Michael Curry. Michael Curry's in behind Paddy Feehan, or in behind Coleman Kendy, and Kendy fouls him, and it's going to be a free in, and Coleman isn't happy with the referee's decision there, but it was one of those ones where he was on the wrong side of the forward, and he was trying to get hands in over the shoulder or maybe around the side to foul or to try and win back possession, but he was adjudged to have fouled him. So it's going to be a free in from inside the 21 and a central position for Jason Curry that you would imagine he'll put over the bar. But Waterford, that was all too easy. That was one long ball from the kick out, and suddenly it all opened up.
Yeah, and they're finding gaps behind us at times. I don't know, we're not pushing up too high, but there's still gaps in behind us, and passive defence, need to be a bit stronger.
So Jason Curry now from the deck, and he kicks that ball over the bar, his 3rd point of the game. So now it is back to a 1-point game again. Tipperary 1-6, Waterford 8 points, 48 minutes gone. We just have about 22 minutes to go here. Very slow start to the second half from Tipperary.
Slow from us, yeah. We really need to, Waterford have come out, they've scored 3 points, we've scored 1. We need to up the game again, we need to get hands on the ball. Try and push them forward. You can look out, Paul, and you can see it. Their 65 yard is just totally congested, so it's very difficult to break it down.
It's a wall of white jerseys inside the 65 as Mark Russell gets a hand pass off now to Jimmy Feehan, and Feehan throws a nice little dummy, and now he gives a hand pass off to Conor Cadell. Cadell is going to be asked to take on a couple of Waterford men. Looks like he's been pulled back. Referee says play on, and here's Paddy Feehan now, and Feehan gives it off to Jack Kendi. Kendi, not aware if there was a man behind him, does well to hold on to possession of that ball, and here's Jimmy Feehan now, and here's Stephen O'Brien. O'Brien always looking for to create something now, and it might just open up for Mikey O'Shea over on that far side. He's trying to take on a couple of men, gets a hand pass off to Coleman Kendi. Coleman Kendi from close range, brilliant save by the goalkeeper, and it goes over the bar. Tipperary done really well, lots of well placed hand passes, open up the Waterford defence, and Coleman Kendi drove that ball. Great save by the goalkeeper Paddy Hunt. It was probably hit head height, probably at him, a nice position for a goalkeeper, but that was a big chance for Tipperary to get another goal.
Yeah, no, they worked it well. That was the first time we went a bit of pace with the ball and moved it through the hands very quickly, and a good save by the goalie. Coleman did well to get on the end of it. He'd normally bury those ones, but just a slight angle, and as you say, hit perfect height for a goalkeeper though.
Great build-up play from Tipperary. 1-7 now for Tipperary, 8 points for Waterford as the clock just ticks to the 50th minute of this game here in Semple Stadium as Kerry await the winners in the Munster semi-final, but we'll worry about the last 20 minutes of this game now as a loose tackle comes in there, and surely it was a foul from Shane O'Connell, but referee says play on, and the Waterford dugout really not happy with that one as Tipperary can go on the attack now. Mark Russell does well to hold on to this ball, and he's probably going to get called for steps now if I was to have a guess, but no, he gets the hand pass off, and Kevin Fahey does really well, and here's Conor Cadell now. Cadell throws the dummy towards Stephen O'Brien. Looks like he's been held back now. The game just starting to up a little bit in terms of intensity, and there's a few tackles going in, and now it's going to be a free to Tipperary right out in the corner, and it's going to be brought forward as well for a bit of afters there by the Waterford defender, and Stephen O'Brien gives a shoulder to one of the Waterford lads who looks like he was hit by a sniper rifle here in Semple Stadium, the way he threw himself to the ground, but I wouldn't like Stephen O'Brien running into the back of me either, but the referee has paid absolutely no heed to the Waterford player that's on the ground, so interesting to see what will happen here. It's almost like it's almost like there's no one on the ground. The referee's completely ignoring
he's ignoring it. Yeah. I don't think there was an awful lot in it. It was a little jostle, nothing serious,
So in fairness to James Malloy, he's not going to fall for anything silly like that, so he's just going to wait a second now as Sean O'Connor was ready to take the free, but referee just takes the ball off him and puts it on the ground. So
he must have I think it's the linesman has a bit of involvement in this one now.
Yeah, the linesman has called Stephen O'Brien or called the referee, and now the referee has called Stephen O'Brien over, so Stephen O'Brien is going to get some sort of a card, and he's pleading his case, and it's a yellow card for Stephen O'Brien. So as little as there was in that, the Waterford defender did well to make the most of it, and the linesman is going to it's going to be a throw ball. Yeah. So what would have been a guaranteed point for Tipperary on the 14 is now a throw ball, and this might just up things a little bit because the game was going kind of a slow pace. Now Waterford are going to work this ball out of their defence, and it's a hand pass played forward now, and Waterford look to break this ball out of their own 45, but Tipperary do well just to force them back a bit, and now it opens up for Waterford again. So very disappointing and frustrating again from Tipperary point of view, and Stephen O'Brien goes into the book, and 1-7 for Tipperary, 8 points for Waterford, so it's still a 2-point lead for the Premier County, but it's Waterford on the attack through Conor Murray, surging down through the middle of the field. He has his head up looking inside, but he's going to give a hand pass across to his number 5 Dermot Ryan, the captain. Onto the edge of the D he comes. He's on his left hand side. He looks like he doesn't really want to shoot with the left boot, and that's probably the reason why, as it goes to the wide at the near post, but he looked hesitant to have a go at the left boot.
Yeah, he was coming in his wrong side too, I suppose. For a left footer he was coming at the wrong angle, and he didn't look like he wanted to shoot. Sean O'Connor back inside our own 45, taking the ball here.
So Sean, we haven't seen a lot of Sean O'Connor today, it must be said. Someone with so much potential, and he really lit it up there for commercials at times throughout the championship last year, and still only, he's probably 22 or that at this stage.
He'll be 22 this year, yes. He's still learning the game, it's still in work in progress, and Yeah, he just a little bit more. Maybe it's the system of play that mightn't suit.
Yeah, so here's Kevin Fahey now in possession of this ball, and he gets it off now to Jack Kendi, one of the number of Clonmel Commercials players on this team, as it looks like Tipperary are going to be welcoming Rian Quigley onto the field in just a matter of moments. The Mull Rovers club man has his warm-up top off, and he's having a chat there with David Power, ready to come on. So that's a Tipperary substitution that will be coming on in the next couple of minutes. But 53.5 minutes gone. It's Tipperary with a 2-point lead. Paddy Fian now on the edge of the 21. A ball across the 45. It's almost dropped, or across the edge of the 14. Was almost dropped there by the Waterford defender as Sean O'Connor fouls the Waterford defender. Now Waterford break with this ball through number 7, Jordan O'Sullivan, and it opens up from number 14. Sean Whelan Barrett gets overturned brilliantly by Paddy Fian, and here's Stephen O'Brien runs into a tackle and does well to hold on to possession, goes one way, goes the other, and does so well to hold on to possession there. Gets the hand pass off now to Stephen Quirk. Here's Quirk now, and he's been called to play it into the corner by Mark Russell, and Russell's out in front of his man and holds on to possession now. Russell just on the 45 out near the sideline. We've got 54 minutes gone as Kevin Fahey brings this ball forward. Tipperary with a 2-point lead, 1-7 playing 8 points, and this ball played to Keith Ryan now over on the left wing, just on the sideline in front of the new stand over there, and he's bringing this ball across the edge of the 45, and a double substitution here for Tipperary, as Martin Keogh looks ready to come on as well, the Mullinahone club man, and this ball played forward now, and it might be a chance for Conor Cadell. He kicks this high, but he never started it on line outside the edge of the 21. He had it was probably on. It was probably a shot you can take on, but not the most accurate.
Yeah, he didn't strike with great conviction either. He didn't look like he was
confident.
Exactly. Yeah.
So kick out now played from Paulie Hunt, and it's intercepted by Mark Russell, who beats his man and gives him a heavy shoulder and gives it off to Jack Kendi now. Kendi runs into trouble and turns back out the field. He's on the 45, plays a lovely ball with the outside of the right boot. This could be a mark if Tipperary want it, but instead Tipperary going to take it forward. It's Mikey O'Shea on that far side, kicks it high with the left boot. The crowd weren't chanting, and the lads beside us are going to have a job to do. It's going to Hawkeye, so the lads just beside us now are going to be having a look at this. Unfortunately, I can't really see in. I might, if I stand up, I might be able to look in the little glass window to see the Hawkeyes. So I will have a look at it myself here. I'll let you know. But it is 55.5 minutes gone. It is Tipperary 1-7, Waterford 8 points as we await now. And I can tell you already that ball has gone wide, so it's not going to be given, and it's gone to the right and wide. So just by about a foot or so. So wide ball is the decision there. So 19 is coming on for Waterford. That is John Devine. So Tipperary substitution. Off goes Sean O'Connor, and on comes number 25, Rian Quigley. So Sean O'Connor with 2 points goes off. And the other substitution is Mikey O'Shea going off from Martin Keogh. So Martin Keogh, haven't seen an awful lot of him this year. He featured quite a lot last year, but he's given the chance here.
Yeah, I believe he was injured during the league as well, so he had a couple of knocks there that he didn't feature as much as he would have liked to. So yeah, he's in now the last 15-20 minutes of this game. Hopefully he can have some impact on it.
So and off goes Mikey O'Shea. So the substitutions there for Tipperary. On comes Rian Quigley for Sean O'Connor, and off goes Mikey O'Shea, and on comes Martin Keogh. The substitute for Waterford there was number 19, John Devine, is on for number 14, and that is Sean Whelan Barrett. So he leaves the field, and it's a foul there by Mark Russell in the middle of the field, and that allows Waterford to break onto this ball. And here is John Devine just onto the field, so let's see what he can do. He's trying to take on Kevin Fahey. Fahey does well to just shepherd him out, and here's Derek Corcoran, the danger man. He's looking to take on the Tipperary defence, and it's a fist in there from Colm O'Shaughnessy, and it's a foul, and it's going to be a gimme of a free inside the 14 for Waterford, and it looks like it could be a card there possibly for either Kevin Fahey or Colm O'Shaughnessy. And 57 minutes gone. This would make it a 1-point game, and
we're not putting a bit of daylight in this game, and we whatever way we've come out in the second half, we haven't come out too strong at all. Like, I mean, Waterford have been just containing us and have more than the measure of us here in the second half. If we didn't have the goal on the board, like, I mean, we'd be in serious bother here.
So it's going to be Jason Curry again. He's on the 14. I probably called it a gimme, but it's not a gimme. It's halfway between the edge of the 14 and the sideline, so a bit of an angle on it. But you would expect an inter-county footballer to be able to put this ball over the bar. He's going to be taking it from his hands, and he's going to get and he's going to kick it wide, of course. Just as I said that it was well, I should do that for every Waterford free from this stage, but that one never had a chance. Wide at the far post, was always wide. Tried to curl it in, but it just didn't curl at all. And this kick kick out now, played short to Shane O'Connell, who's surely been fouled there in the process. And
Waterford will be disappointed to miss that chance too. Like, I mean, that was a gimme, essentially. You know, it was.
Yeah, so 1-7 for Tipperary now. 8 points for Waterford is still the score. Not the highest scoring second half. Tipperary just with 2 points in this second half. And here's Coleman Kendy, who had that big goal chance about 15 minutes ago. But Tipperary on the attack now through Keith Ryan, and he turns back and gets it back now as far as Coleman Kendy. And Kendy puts a lovely little step on the Waterford defender, almost gets him to the floor. And here's Stephen Quirk. Now Quirk plays it off now to just Stephen O'Brien, who was just knocked the ball out of his hands when it came to him, and then he was tripped up, but luckily enough Tipperary looked to overturn this ball. Conor Cadell had a chance at it on the ground, but instead it is Owen McGrath Butler coming out with the ball for Waterford. And Tipperary haven't won a competitive game, as I said, in 344 days, and it's going to be a tough last 10 minutes here as a dangerous ball is played into Derek Corcoran. He looks to take on Shane O'Connell. He's inside the edge of the 14, and it's a goal for Waterford, and that is the lead. He did take a lot of steps, but he took on Shane O'Connell and buried it low past Michael O'Reilly into the far bottom corner to Michael O'Reilly's right hand side. He had no real chance of saving it, and now with 59 minutes gone, 1-8 to 1-7, it is Waterford in the lead. And just I was mentioning how hard it was for Tipperary to win a game, and it's going to be
fear. Like, I mean, you were always there. Waterford were in that game, and we weren't putting them away, and we're still not putting them away. You know, you give them that chance and they put it away. They're a point up now.
So can Tipperary make something happen here? It's 59.5 minutes gone. We've got probably about 13-14 minutes of play here. Tipperary are down by a point and are surging forward through Jack Kendy. He needs to get a hand pass off, though. He's been swarmed and gets it off now to Paddy Feehan. Feehan looks backwards and gets it off to Keith Ryan, but Tipperary have been forced back out from the edge of the D all the way to the 65. And here's Mark Russell. He's a man who can kick a score, but he's 50 or 60 yards from goals at the minute. And here's Colin O'Shaughnessy, hand pass it across, and Tipperary now just looking to play this long ball in. It's going to have to be accurate. It's going to be played in towards the edge of the D, and it's caught there by Stephen Quirk. He kicks it over his shoulder. Is that going to be accurate? Yes, it is. And Stephen Quirk gets his first score of the game, and it was a brilliant ball in there all the way as far as Stephen Quirk, who had two men in front of him. He put up one hand, played it onto the ground, got it in his possession, kicked it over his left shoulder with the right boot. 1-8 apiece now, and Tipperary definitely needed that score, Philly.
Definitely, yeah. Like, I mean, a good ball in, a long ball in again, just into the one isolated man inside the area, and turned over the shoulder. Nice score, yeah.
So 1-8 apiece here, 60.5 minutes gone, but as Waterford on the attack, and a load of space Jordan O'Sullivan has, and he surges through, and he could be fouled here. Coleman Kendy does really well to get a hand in, and the Clonmel Commercials man gets fouled. That is brilliant from Coleman Kendy, and he gives a little bit of a clenched fist to his teammates there, as Tipperary needed that. A bit of momentum now for Tipperary. Here's Mark Russell. He's been urged to play it cross field here, and he does now to Conor Cadell. Cadell could play it forward now to Jack Kendy, and a bit of space now for the Clonmel Commercials club man, and he just fumbles on the ball though, and now he tries to take on his man soccer style, but the ball is still on the ground, and Kendy still has the ball on the ground, and he flicks the ball around his man. This is Premier League stuff from Jack Kendy. Plays it across the edge of the square. Goal for Tipperary, a goal for Stephen Quirk, and that is the goal Tipperary needed. Jack Kendy dribbled the ball on the ground all the way in from the 45 and then squared it across. It was like Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial yesterday for Man United, but this time it was Jack Kendy and Stephen Quirk, and Quirk won't score an easier goal than that. It was 2-on-1 with the goalkeeper, played across the edge of the square from Jack Kendy and tapped in by Stephen Quirk, and Philly Ryan. Tipperary needed that.
Well, they did need it, yeah. Absolute pure persistence there from Jack. He looked like he had lost it twice and regained it and kept going. And the purest of Simple Stadium won't like that goal, I'm sure, but we'll take it.
We'll take whatever we can get now for Tipperary. It's 2-8 now, playing 1-8. Tipperary back to a 3-point lead. 62 minutes gone, but when Watford scored that goal, Tipperary, there was a little bit of urgency, and suddenly it's like when it all opened up, when Tipp put in a bit of urgency and a bit of energy into the thing.
Yeah, we're going to have to bring a lot more energy now just to close out the game, but it does give us a bit of breathing space. You know, the next score will be vital now for... Hopefully we'll get it. If we get it, I think it should nearly see us at home. You know, you have 8 minutes on the clock here to go, so probably 4 or 5. You're probably still looking at 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, so 62.5 minutes gone, and it's Tipperary with a 3-point lead, 2-8 playing 1-8, and going on the attack now here is number 12 Jason Curry, and gets it off now to Conor Murray, and Murray's on the edge of the 45, and Tipperary just sitting back, and funnily enough the Waterford full back is out in the 65, and Stephen Quirk is in on the 14 with no one on him, and now it opens up now, and if Tipperary can break this ball forward now, Stephen Quirk is just out there on his own as Martin Keogh brings this ball forward, Waterford. Gets it off to Mark Russell. Russell now has Stephen O'Brien to his right hand side, and O'Brien makes a lovely run on the edge of the 45, and O'Brien gives a hand pass in towards Stephen Quirk, and it's good defending by the fullback as he just intercepts it, and Quirk looking to probably just foul the fullback there. That's Derek O'Cosig, and he does really well. And now Tipperary are open through the middle of the field. This game has really opened up now. We've got 63 minutes gone. It's 2-8 to 1-8 Tipperary in the lead, and a loose hand pass there from Waterford is intercepted there. Paddy Fian got a hand on it, and it was Kevin Fahey overturned it, and here now is Kevin Fahey. A really poor hand pass though played to him, but he does well to just play it along the edge of the ground, and it looked like it could have been picked off the ground by Mark Russell as Coleman Kendi now probably, I'm not sure, was he hit late there? I'm not sure if you saw that.
I didn't see it.
It's not
no,
Coleman, sorry, it's Kevin Fahey. Who's down.
I didn't see it, but he's holding his head, so he must when he laid off the wall, maybe someone drove into him.
And it looks like the linesman is having a word with the referee, so we will see if anything is made of that. But Tipperary still in possession of this ball. It's just the tempo has just slowed down a little bit just in the last second or two, and Tipperary won't mind that. They've a 3-point lead. There's 63 minutes 55 seconds on the clock. 2-8 playing 1-8. You're listening to Tip FM's coverage of Tipperary versus Waterford in the Munster Senior Football Championship quarter final, and our coverage here on Tip FM with thanks to Martin O'Dwyer Family Butchers in Cashel. And here is Jack Kendi now. Kendi looking to get a hand pass off now, and it could be a chance for Stephen Quirk on the edge of the 21. It was Martin Keogh, and he just hesitated for just a second. He could have popped it over the bar, and he just hesitated for a quick second, and it was blocked by one of the Waterford defenders, and that could have put 2 points between them, as it's now a free out to Waterford.
Yeah. So
or two scores, I presume.
Yeah, two scores, exactly, yeah. We could have done with that one. He was into a little bit of space and just hesitated, as you say. Seemed to change his mind. I'd say he had half a thought of a goal on it, and just decided to pop it, and by the time he popped it, Waterford man got on top of him and blocked it.
So 2-8 to 1-8 Tipperary in the lead. Waterford on the attack. They're inside the Tipperary 65, and one of their players tries to take on Coleman and Jack Kendi, and he's fouled. So it's going to be a free in now for number 5 Dermot Ryan. He's on the edge of the 45 or just outside, so Waterford might have a decision should we go for this, but it looks like it's Dermot Ryan, the captain from the Nyers, calling over his free taker Jason Curry. So central position, and it is about probably 4 or 5 yards outside the 45, and Kevin Fahey is trying to push it back a bit. And if you're judging out where the linesman is, this should be brought back by a couple of yards, but looks like Jason Curry isn't going to mind where the linesman is standing, and the linesman isn't going to enforce his mark too much. So it's going to be a free in now for number 12 Jason Curry. He's got his back to us. He's facing down his left shoulder, looking in towards the declining end. The ball is on the ground, and he's looking into the scoreboard that says 2-8 to 1-8 with Tipperary in the lead. But here's Jason Curry now striking this from the ground. Gets a good connection on it. It looks accurate from here, but it just to right and wide. So Tipperary let off the hook. It was a good strike, but just probably started at the right hand side of the post and never came in. So we have 65 minutes 50 seconds gone. Tipperary 2-8, Waterford 1-8. Michael O'Reilly in possession of this ball, and a big last 5 or 6 minutes now.
Yeah, look, we need to. This game is all about winning, as you say, and we need to just close out the game now, not do anything heroic here. Just keep ball, go through the motions, and try and play down the clock a bit.
So here's Michael O'Reilly now on the edge of his own D there, and he gives the ball off to the left hand side to a man who's been on a lot of ball for his championship debut. It's Keith Ryan, the Upper Church Drumban club man. He gets a 1-2 there with Martin Keogh of Mullinahone, and Tipperary now holding on possession through Jimmy Fian. Fian now plays it back to Colm O'Shaughnessy and plays it across towards Shane O'Connell. Now a bit of space in front of Shane O'Connell, and he kicks it forward towards Kevin Fahey. Fahey now looking inside at a couple of options, but instead he hand passes off to Conor Cadell. Cadell back to Shane O'Connell, and Tipperary doing well now just to hold on to possession of this ball. And here's Coleman Kendi, and Conor Cadell takes it into contact and wins himself a free, and Tipperary will be delighted with that because they can just take their time, and Michael O'Reilly might come up for this, or Jack Kendi might say I'll take this one. It's just about 2 or 3 yards outside the 45, and very central position, and Jack Kendi will take his time, although remember that time he only had 19 seconds to take that 45 up and Longford.
Yeah, it's a strange decision, so, that one, alright, yeah.
So we won't forget that one, but he's ready to go now. The ball is on the ground, takes a good few steps back from it now, does Jack Kendi. He's looking into the town end. Tipperary with a 3-point lead as the flags at half-mast there just behind the goals are blowing just towards the new stand side. So Jack Kendi boots this. He boots this high. He boots this accurately, and over the black spot it goes from Jack Kendi, and Tipperary needed that to make it a 4-point game. 2 scores in it now. Tipperary lead 2-9 to 1-8. 67 and a half minutes gone, as it looks like number 18 Donal Fitzgerald is going to be coming onto the field for Waterford, and let's see who he will replace.
Strike there for Jack. The score that was very necessary, if we needed that, just to push the gap out, just in case Waterford do come down and raid a goal on us.
So over the bar it goes, and on comes number 18 Donald Fitzgerald for number 2 Conor O'Correen. So that's the substitution for Waterford, as Evie Fitzgerald stands outside the dugout there, the Waterford managers. Stephen O'Brien forces Darrow Cossack to go backwards with the ball. Tipperary with a 4-point lead now. We've 68 minutes gone, 2-9 to 1-8, as Stephen O'Brien just fouls one of the Waterford defenders coming out with the ball. So Waterford slowly try to build this attack now, but they're going to have to. Time is now against Waterford after they got the goal to put them a point ahead there from Dara Corcoran earlier in this second half. Tipperary bounced back straight away with a point from Stephen Quirk to level things, and then that Jack Kennedy goal where he dribbled the ball on the ground all the way from outside the 45, took it all the way to the edge of the square, squared it across to Stephen Quirk, who tapped it in, and Tipperary needed that, but they need to defend now as Waterford are on the attack through their goal scorer Dara Corcoran, edge of the D with his right boot, kicks it over the bar, and just like that it is back to a 3-point game, and there's going to be 4 minutes added on. I'm not too sure where that's come from, but Willie Evanston is going to be coming onto the field, so it's back to a 3-point game, 2-9 to 1-9, as on comes Willie Evanston, and he's going to be replacing Keith Ryan over on the far side. So in fairness to Keith Ryan, didn't really put a foot wrong for his championship debut, Philip.
No, he was very good, very lively. Got on a lot of ball there earlier on and moved it forward. He'll be happy enough with his performance. He's after getting nearly to 70 minutes out of it. So, yeah, and he started the last league game and he was quite good in that too. So, yeah.
Brilliant stuff there. A long kick out played towards Jack Kennedy, and Kennedy gets it, bats it down towards Kevin Fay. Kevin Fay just jiggles with the ball in his hand, and he gets it off to Martin Keogh, and Keogh now up to the 21, cuts inside. Has he been fouled? No, says the referee. The ball is on the ground, and Waterford have overturned Tipperary, but a good shoulder goes in there from Stephen Quirk, and the ball is on the ground on the Waterford 21, but out comes the Dacia men, and it's still a 3-point game, 2-9 to 1-9, and Tipperary really should have worked something from that last possession, and this ball is loosely soloed there by Liam Fennell. He runs into a tackle of Paddy Feehan, and now it's going to be a free in for Waterford, and it's going to be a big last few minutes, as David Power really isn't happy. He thinks he should have had a free there for Martin Keogh, but instead it's Waterford in possession now. The clock has ticked over the 78 minute mark, 70 minutes 7 seconds gone in this Munster Senior Football quarter final. Tipperary with a 3-point lead, 2-9 playing 1-9. The ball is on the ground inside the Tipperary 45, but now it's in possession of Jason Curry, and Jason Curry now plays it off now to Brian Luby, and Luby in possession of this ball on the 45, plays it across to the Waterford number 10 is Conor Murray, and now a ball aimed in at the post, but it's going to go harmlessly to the right and wide. Poor decision making there from a Waterford side of things, as Kevin Fahey just down on his knees, and he's just slow to get back up, as Michael O'Reilly is going to be taking this kick out. So we've 70 minutes 40 seconds gone, 2-9 playing 1-9, and that last possession for Tipperary really should have ended in some sort of score.
Yeah, that's twice Martin was going through in the goal, and just he lost possession of the ball there and just overran it.
So Michael O'Reilly goes along with the kick out, and it's one there, batted down by Mark Russell towards Jack Kennedy, and Kennedy rounds his man. He's in the middle of the field, gets a hand pass off now to Kevin Fahey. Fahey now playing the ball across the edge of the 65 to Conor Cadell, who loses possession of it but does well to hold on to it now, and here's Kevin Fahey, who comes to just give an option to Conor Cadell, and now plays the ball in as far as Stephen Quirk, but out in front of his man was Darrow Cossack, the Waterford fullback, and Waterford now have the chance to break up the field, and they do so through their number 13, and they've been turned over by the Tipperary number 13, and that's Stephen O'Brien. A huge win in the tackle there for O'Brien. Plays the ball forward. It could be a one-on-one chance here. Goal chance for Tipperary. Stephen Quirk gets hand pass off to Paddy Feehan. Paddy Feehan, saved by the goalkeeper, bobbles around. It's into the back of the net. Somehow into the back of the net from the Killinall man, Paddy Feehan. He was inside the edge of just on the edge of the square, cut in onto his left boot. As he struck it, the goalkeeper was right on him as he struck it. It ricocheted off the goalkeeper, off Paddy Feehan, and it just somehow dribbled in over the line. But anyway, we'll take it at this stage.
There were two crackers we'll have to score in the second half here. But no, I suppose to be fair, that was great work out of Stephen O'Brien. He broke it down there and laid it into Stephen Quirk, and Stephen laid it off to Paddy Feehan. They overloaded the offence there very quickly now, to be fair.
And brilliant stuff from Tipperary, but it almost opens up for Waterford there. It's just a lapse in concentration from Reen Quigley. Let the ball bounce over his head, and that almost opened things up for Waterford, and now it's going to be a free in for Waterford on the edge of the 21. So let's see what number 8 Michael Curry does with this. He'd surely just put it over the bar at this stage. 72.5 minutes gone, 3-9 playing 1-9, and he's looking around asking his Waterford teammates what to do, so he gives it off to Jason Curry, and Curry's going to put this ball on the ground. So I think the Tipperary lads on the line just need to be wary in case he goes for a Michael Meehan style effort there where he leathered it in from this range, but it's probably going to be just put over the bar. 3-9 playing 1-9. And as Philly Ryan said, just Stephen O'Brien done so well to overturn Michael Kiley there on the Waterford 45 and hand passes it into Stephen Quirk as that ball goes over the bar from Jason Curry. His fourth of the day brings it to a 5-point lead now for Tipperary, 3-9 to 110. But that's been kind of the difference when you have a player like Stephen O'Brien, that they show up in the big moments, and won that ball, turned it over, and Stephen Quirk and Paddy Fian done the rest. Not Paddy Fian's most best of finishes, but it went into the back of the net, and that's all that counts.
It's a goal, I suppose, at the end of the day. It'll be the match winner, so it might have been stylish, but it counts on the board.
Yeah, so it's been an entertaining second half after a slow start to the second half, and it looks like Tipperary are finally going to get that win and that they've been craving. And here is a man who's been a big part of it. It's Stephen O'Brien. He's going to try to do a Jack Kennedy and keep the ball on the ground, and he's overturned the Waterford man again, and it could open up for Stephen O'Brien. He's in possession of this ball outside the 21 over near the sideline, but he's been forced backwards, no real options near him, and instead he plays it all the way back to Coleman Kennedy, who plays it across to Conor Cadell, and it's a handling error for the JK Bracken's club man, and that allows Waterford to get in possession of the ball. And Conor Cadell is trying his best to give away a free, and eventually he does give away a free, and the Waterford man has run 20 yards with the ball from where he was fouled. So it's going to be a yellow card now for Conor Cadell, and I don't think anyone can have any complaints about that. So Cadell goes into the referee's notebook. That's James Malloy, but more importantly, it's Tipperary with the lead, 3-9, playing 110, and we've played the 4 minutes that were to be added on. 74 minutes 30 seconds on the clock as Jason Curry looks to take this ball on in the latest in the TSDL Premier League. It's a big upset on the cards, it looks like, possibly, as Spancha Celtic 2, Clonmel Town 1 is the score there as Jason Curry puts that ball over the bar. So Clonmel Town looking for a big win in the TSDL, but they're down 2-1. But
I think the ref is going to call for the ball here. So
James Malloy, the referee, looks like that is going to be that. Tipperary, a long-awaited victory here, and ready for the full-time whistle. There it comes from James Malloy of Galway. That is the full-time whistle here in Semple Stadium, and it is a win for Tipperary. The Tipperary footballers have gotten their first competitive win of 2023. It's come in the Munster football quarter-final over Waterford. It's finished up Tipperary 3-9, Waterford 1-11, and that will just do wonders for the group. It wasn't the prettiest of performances by any means, but they will go down as the winners of this game. If you offer them that, no matter what way this game went, they would have taken that.
Yeah, look, a win is a win, and it's a championship win, so it's great. We weren't over impressive in the first 15 minutes, but we finished the game strong. That's one thing we can take out of this. And another thing, I suppose, is Stephen O'Brien is a full game into him going into Kerry. We did what we needed to do. There's no point getting too excited about it, but a win is a win, and it's a championship win, so we're off the mark, and it'll do, as you say, it'll do the confidence no harm. The lads will pick up from that. It'll make it easier going into training next Tuesday or Wednesday night for them, and it gives you a crack at the Tailteann Cup as well, so you can set yourself up for it.
So Tipperary will go into the Munster semi-final now. It's down in Killarney on Saturday, April 22nd. It's going to be a 4 p.m. throw-in there. So the 22nd of April, Saturday, 4 p.m. in Killarney. Tipperary will play Kerry in the Munster Senior Football semi-final. But as we said already, more importantly, it's just a win for this Tipperary team. They've been struggling all year with injuries and things not going their way, and they'll be delighted just to get this victory. And as Philly said there, just much easier going into training off the back of a win and a Munster Championship win. And especially the fact that Stephen O'Brien came back. We've mentioned him a lot in this game. He scored 1-3 and done so well to overturn possession for that final goal from Paddy Fian. That was the score that really finished the game off as a contest. But Tipperary will be delighted, and to score 3 goals as well. We haven't been much of a goal threat so far this year, so they can take plenty of positives coming out of Semple Stadium here today.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, definitely. But I suppose the other thing we'll have to look at, Paul, is that it is a Division 4 opposition that we played, albeit in the Munster Championship. We did score 3 goals, but we scored 9 points as well. So
yeah.
Will 3-9, will that win us a game against Kerry? That's what we'll have to look at. I don't know. I don't think it will. But I suppose we won't be negative. Like, I mean, today is a day, it's all about the win, and we'll take that and we'll move away from here. And, like, I mean, it's just a monkey off the back for the lads as well.
Yeah, and I've done 6 of the Tipperary senior football games this year, and we haven't won any. So I think were we the problem for any of the games we done? We haven't won, so we finally got that dug off our back anyway. and Tipperary, Tipperary have won the game. So just to run listeners down through the scores: Tipperary putting up 3-9 to Waterford's 1-11. The goals for Tipperary came from the first one came from Stephen O'Brien, a long ball in the first half, and O'Brien was on the edge of the square, held his man off with one hand and just fisted the ball into the top corner with the other. And then in the second half, the second goal for Tipperary came from Jack Kendi, came from Stephen Quirk, but the work came from Jack Kendi. He had the ball on the 45 and struggled to get the ball into his hand, so he just had to keep it on the ground as he was battling with one of the defenders. Beat that defender for pace, came up to the next defender. The ball is still on the ground. He's inside the 45. He knocks it around the back of the defender, runs around him, and suddenly he's in on goals with the goalkeeper. He keeps the ball on the ground, squares it across the edge of the square, and Stephen Quirk is in there to tap it in, and that was a huge score for Tipperary, because that came just moments after Dara Corcoran's goal for Waterford. And then the final goal just came in injury time, as Stephen Quirk played the ball into, it must be said before that, Waterford in possession through Michael Kiley, I believe it was, and Stephen O'Brien overturned him, and suddenly Tipperary had 2-on-1. Stephen O'Brien overturned him just inside the 45, out underneath the new stand. He overturned him and came onto the ball. Was Stephen O'Brien played it forward to Stephen Quirk, and he played it across to Paddy Feehan. It looked like the chance had gone for just a second, as Paddy Feehan always wanted to cut back in on his left hand side, and as he cut back in, the goalkeeper Paddy Hunt rushed him out. It hit off Paddy Hunt, I think it came back off Paddy Feehan and rolled into the back of the net somehow, and that was the decisive score for Tipperary winning this game. So as we said, we would have taken a win any way it came today, and it's come from a difficult 3-9 to 1-11. It only goes down as a 4-point win in the end, but you can't say Tipperary probably deserved any more than that with how lethargic they were at times in the game, but coming away with the win, as we said already, is the main thing.
Yeah, it is, Paul, definitely. Like, I mean, and I suppose the last 15 minutes of that game, when the pressure came on, we went a point down after the Waterford goal, and they showed a good composure to come back. They hit probably 2-2 after that one, so that was the key of the game, just turning it over there. Maybe a couple of lads will be back from injury the next day, and Lee McGrath didn't feature today, so he was on the sideline.
And Teddy Doyle as well.
Teddy as well, yeah. So
Conal Kendi, another one to come back.
Right, yeah. Conal's back in light training as well, yeah. He's missed all the league, and he'd be a big addition out around the middle of the field as well. He'd bring a bit of drive to it.
So, and just looking at the Tipperary players walking off, a lot of them wearing Waterford jerseys now after swapping jerseys, but there's smiles on the faces of them, and it's untold what just that win will do just for the confidence. These lads have been training probably since November, and to be getting best week in, week out, or drawing games and not winning games, to come here and get a win is as massive, as we said already. And no matter what happens in the Munster semi-final against Kerry, they're by no means going to be favourites to probably even keep that game within single scores or anything like that. Like, it's going to be a complete underdog job, but they're down there taking pictures with some of the supporters, which is also great to see. But just, this is probably the boost they needed as they probably prepare, as David Power already said, for the Tailteann Cup. Yeah,
you're right. Look, there are smiles on the face, and that's the way this game should be. You know, there's a lot of effort goes into it, and it's good to see that there is a smile back in the face, and that we have a win under the belt. Obviously going to Kerry is going to be a big task, but that's for another day. You know, it's that'll be interesting too. Like, I mean, we'll have to raise our own intensity to that game and bring it on a bit. You know, that'll improve us. I mean, there's a lot of good players out there, individually good players, and more might come out the better the opposition. So it's a huge test, and I suppose you have to draw a line under the Kerry game and just say, look, we won't win it, but we need to compete in it. That's the main thing. That'll be the key, competing in that game and setting ourselves up. But we're off the mark today. Look, it's 3-9 scored, 2-4 scored there in the second half. Couple of dubious goals, all right, but look, it's a win. I'd like to see us again. I'd like to see that we move the ball a bit quicker out of it from back to front, and maybe that's something that Kerry will bring on as well. You know, they might bring that out of us. It'll be interesting to see. But for today, look, I'm delighted for the players and delighted for the management. A lot of hard work, a lot of effort gone in there, and as you said, nearly a year since they won, so they're deserving of that win, and no harm to see a monkey off their back as well.
Yeah, and the likes of Stephen O'Brien still hasn't made his way off the field as he's signing autographs and taking pictures down on the field. But we're going to leave it at that. It's a win for the Tipperary senior footballers. They've beaten Waterford in the Munster Senior Football Championship quarter-final. They've beaten them 3-9 to 111. I've been Paul Carroll. I'd like to thank Philly Ryan here for his help on co-commentary. But we leave Semple Stadium with a win for Tipperary. Back to you in studio, Davin.
Awesome stuff, lads. Well done to the senior footballers.